What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010, work our way up through the ranks and through the teams, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We are currently in that F1 2014 season. This is the final season of the Rags to Riches, the sequel. We are here at the Belgian Grand Prix, and if you have missed any of the previous episodes, go catch them out with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. You will find the previous episode at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and you will also find the whole entire playlist up there for you guys to enjoy as well. But after 11 rounds of this 2014 season, we are currently in P3 in the championship. 164 points on the board at the moment, 44 points behind Lewis Hamilton, 34 points behind Nico Rosberg. So we're sort of there in terms of the championship. There's still a long way left to go. I do reckon we will be within the title scrap at the end of the season. We just got to wait and see how the rest of the season actually develops. But I do feel like we are going to be in the title scrap. But at the moment, we've just got to, get our heads down and get some decent results in the next couple of races. And Belgium is certainly a good race to do that. We do tend to run very well at this Belgian Grand Prix. It is going to be dry as well across the whole entire race weekend. And teammate challenge, we are losing out only on out-qualified. So hopefully we can get back at Fernando Alonso there. And race information for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Finishing P5 in that one. It was a decent race. Not amazing. Not disappointing. It was just a decent race. Getting some good points at a circuit which I never tend to do well at. So I was very happy with that. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race weekend for the Belgian Grand Prix. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to have to make sure that we get this final corner correct there because we want to set this lap up nice and tidy indeed. Here we go, through the bus stop chicane. Not the best through the second part, but you want to, sacrifice the exit to get a good line down in towards turn one. So here we are, getting this lap underway at the Belgian Grand Prix. One of my favourite circuits on the whole entire F1 calendar, and hopefully we can get a decent result in this qualifying session. If I can get within the top 5, I'll be very happy with that result. Okay then, through the Sector 2 split time, we are 2 tenths down currently on Lewis Hamilton's time, which is pretty good because it's such a long lap over this circuit. 2 tenths is not actually that much in terms of lap time difference. So hopefully we can gain it through the final couple of corners. If we can get a good jump through the bus stop chicane, I'll be very happy with that. In towards the bus stop chicane now, through the right, hitting a lot of curb there, through the left. Can we get a good line? Losing the back end quite a bit. Not too sure. DRS open. Down towards line. What is it going to be? Good enough for? It's P3. Pretty decent result at the end of the day. P3, I will take that. I said I wanted to get within the top 5. I'm into the top 3, right behind my 2 championship rivals of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. The gap between those 2 drivers, 2 tenths of a second. So very close at this stage of the season between us 3. Lewis Hamilton first, Nico Rosberg second, and myself in third. Exactly how we are in the Drivers' Championship at this stage of the season. Then Sebastian Vettel 4th, Alonso 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Massa is in 7th, with Valtteri Bottas 8th, Nico Hülkenberg 9th, and Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10. Jenson Button and Kevin Magnussen just missing out on the top 10. Nothing else really to talk about in the qualifying session, so without any further ado, let's see what we can do from third on the grid. It's race day at the Belgian Grand Prix as we start third on the grid going into today's race. A really good qualifying session for myself. Like I've said before, this is a circuit which I enjoy, and it is one that I'm also, to say so myself, quite good at. So hopefully we can convert this into a good position. As long as we beat both of the Mercedes drivers, I will be happy. But race strategy for today, starting on the option tyres, pitting for the primes on lap 5 of this 11 lap race. And the teammate challenge at the moment, we've out-qualified Fernando Alonso here, so doing exactly what we need to do to try and make it 5 out of 5 in the teammate challenge. We're just going to have to wait and see whether we can do that or not. 0% chance of rain. Let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. There is Lewis Hamilton back on the front row of the grid, right to the front in pole position with Nico Rosberg second, myself in third, and Fernando Alonso directly behind me in 5th position there. We're already pointing more towards the right at the moment as we go down in towards turn 1. I'm going to get the inside line, try and get out the inside of Lewis Hamilton as we go to 5. Red lights. It is lights out, and away we go for this Belgian Grand Prix. I'm going to try and get the inside line on Lewis Hamilton as he's going to go side by side with Nico Rosberg. Here we go, up the inside, down towards turn 1. Those two are going to have to do it. Oh, we've overshot it. We've overshot it. We're going to have to give that position back to both Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Go, Rosberg. Go for the overtake, mate. You're going to have to take it back. There we go. Rosberg back up into P2. So, the darting move up the inside, down in towards turn 1. Didn't exactly work here today, but can we come back at Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg? They're going side by side, batting each other. Left the door wide open on the right-hand side, and that's given me the lead of the race once again. Rosberg and Hamilton are going to go side by side down in towards the Lecombe section. I'm pretty sure this time around I finally said it right. Is it Lecombe? I'm hoping I've said it with Lecombe, because every single race I race at Belgium, I always say that corner section wrong. I always pronunciate it wrong. So Lecombe, hopefully that is how you say it. But Hamilton at the moment holding on to P2. Rosberg's in third with Fernando Alonso now up into P4. 2 laps into this Belgian Grand Prix, then DRS is now activated, but I don't really have to worry about DRS too much. Lewis Hamilton is nowhere near me out on track. 2.8 seconds, in fact, is the gap. Alonso is now up into P3 in today's Belgian Grand Prix, ahead of Nico Rosberg. Can he get past Lewis Hamilton as well? If we can get 1-2 for Ferrari here today, that'll be absolutely fantastic. So fingers crossed, Alonso can do that. If he can get Lewis Hamilton down the Kemmel Straight, I'll be very, very happy with that. Come on, Alonso. Get past Hamilton. Get a 1-2 for Ferrari. He's only gone and done it. Fernando Alonso is now up into P2 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, however, he needs to get away from them. If he can get out of the DRS range, then it should be plain sailing for both of us to get a 1-2 here today. And that will also really help me out in the championship. Hamilton at the moment in third. The best result today, the best realistic result for today for us, as I've run it a little bit wide in towards the chicane, would be myself in first, Fernando Alonso second, Rosberg third, and then Lewis Hamilton fourth. So fingers crossed that could happen. It does look like on the minimap though that Alonso is getting away from both Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. 6 tenths is the gap between my teammate and Lewis Hamilton, so hopefully he can keep it there. It is pit stop time at the Belgian Grand Prix, and so far this race has been very, very comfortable. You know, we've been leading from the front. We've not had any hassle from behind us. Alonso currently in that P2 spot. So far, so good in this Belgian Grand Prix. Alonso and Rosberg will continue with their race. Myself and Lewis Hamilton will come into the pits. I won't really have to worry about Lewis Hamilton or the Red Bull driver coming into the pits, because they're going to come into the pits behind us. A good stop there from the Ferrari team, a 3.7 second stop, and that puts me out way ahead of the Mercedes and the Williams that may have even held up Lewis Hamilton there. So if he has done that, then possibly he could have held up Lewis Hamilton enough for Fernando Alonso and Nico Rosberg to stay ahead of him. Because, of course, we are doing the undercut on these guys, and there are drivers coming out of the pit. Sorry, my bad, going down in towards turn 1. Coming out turn 1 ahead of Lewis Hamilton right now. So Lewis has lost out a lot of time in this race through the pit stop phase. But will it be enough? Okay then, moment of truth. Whereabouts are we going to be in terms of the other drivers? Daniel Ricciardo comes into the pit lane. So does Nico Rosberg and Fernando Alonso. Battle of pit crews there. Looks like Fernando Alonso has got the job done on Nico Rosberg. But whereabouts is Lewis Hamilton going to come out? Will he be ahead of both Nico Rosberg and Fernando Alonso? I think he will do. Coming down in towards turn 1. Or will he? Because, of course, you miss out quite a bit of turn 1 there. You cut across it. Will Lewis Hamilton? He gets past Rosberg, but he doesn't get in front of Fernando Alonso. So it's as you were down in towards Eau Rouge for those guys. But will Lewis Hamilton be able to get the job done down the Kemmel Straight? I can't see anything. I can't see it on the mini-map, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Ah, damn it. Lewis Hamilton has re-overtaken Fernando Alonso in today's race. I'm not too sure whether that was, you know, just straight line speed or anything more than that. I don't feel like Lewis Hamilton has that much more pace than Fernando Alonso in today's race. We just have to wait and see for that. There is a bit of a gap I have spotted on the minimap. I think that might have been, though, if those two were going side by side through Lecombe. That's probably why he may have lost a little bit of time in towards P. Oh, my God, I was not looking there. That was a close one. Oh, my God, my heart was in my mouth there. That was a very, very close one. Okay, no more talking about the others, Hayden. Just concentrate on your own race and get this car home. We are not throwing away this race win for doing anything stupid. Okay, I think Lewis Hamilton has definitely stepped up his game. I think he's put it up into rich mix, but will he be able to catch me up by the end of the race remains to be seen here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And unfortunately, Nico Rosberg as well getting past Fernando Alonso. So it looks like the Mercedes were just sort of sandbagging at the start of the race. It's cost them in terms of the race win, but they have got back past Fernando Alonso at the moment. They are running quicker than myself in today's race. They may be able to catch up to me by the end of the race, but with only 2.5 laps left to go, it feels like it's going to be slightly a bit of an uphill task there for Lewis Hamilton to get back at me. 2 laps left to go, and the gap has come down now to 3.5 seconds. Lewis Hamilton is catching me up a whole second per lap right now. This could get interesting by the end of this race. This really could get interesting. Here we go then. Start of the final lap at this Belgian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, I think the gap is like 2.5 seconds at the moment. We can see him in the mirrors now. Look, there he is. There is Lewis Hamilton. We are lapping in the 156s right now. It's not good enough. The gap is 2.1 seconds as we cross the line. It's going to be a close one at the end of this race. Seriously, it is going to be close. Lewis Hamilton so much quicker than ourselves here on the final lap. But will it be enough for the Mercedes driver to get the job done? We're just going to have to wait and see as we go through El Rouge there. Lewis Hamilton not close enough at the moment to use DRS to try to get past us. But he may be close enough in the rundown to the bus stop chicane. Here we go then. Last couple of corners at the Belgian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton right on my tail. So I go through Stavelo now. 0.7 of a second is the gap between us two drivers. Who is going to come out on top between myself and Lewis Hamilton? Having to put it up into Rich Mix just to make sure that we have him in terms of straight line speed. But here he comes. Lewis Hamilton right on my tail. He's going to get the inside line down towards the bus stop chicane. Who's going to come out on top between the two of us? Does he have a little look? No, he doesn't. In towards the right. Then the left, getting the job done, shutting the door on Lewis Hamilton. I think we're going to get the job done as we come down towards the start-finish line. It's another race win, baby. Forza Ferrari getting a win here at the Belgian Grand Prix. My favourite track on the F1 calendar, and I am so happy about that. So happy to be back on the top step, beating Lewis Hamilton once again. 7 points gained there on my Mercedes rival. Also beating Nico Rosberg. Unfortunately, Fernando Alonso just didn't have the legs in today's race to stay ahead of both Mercedes drivers. Unfortunately, he does finish in P4, but still a good result there for my Ferrari teammate. And we were speaking last episode about maybe joining Red Bull, and that is why we didn't. Just look at that. Ferrari are better than Red Bull, and that is why I stay with them. Felipe Massa beating both Red Bull drivers here today at a circuit which is, okay, yes, it is mainly about straight line speed, but there are quite a few high-speed corners in there as well. So, you know, you still have to be quite good through the corners in this circuit. But it is a race win for myself here today, with Lewis Hamilton second, Nico Rosberg third, and Fernando Alonso in fourth, with Felipe Massa fifth, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo in sixth and seventh, with Jenson Button eighth, Kevin Magnussen ninth, and Nico Hülkenberg getting the final championship point here today, with Bottas and Perez just missing out. Any surprises in today's race? Not really. So let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. And in the Drivers' Championship, we are now only 37 points behind Lewis Hamilton. 7 points gained in today's race. And heading over to the Italian Grand Prix next time around, I do feel like we can gain some more points there on the Mercedes driver. We're going to do it for the Tifosi next time around at the Italian Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg, he is now 13 points behind Lewis Hamilton at this stage of the season. So once again, we are closing up to the other Mercedes driver. So hopefully we will be within a championship battle come the end of the season. Looking at the constructors standings as well, like I've always said, Mercedes running away with that one, so there's no real worry about trying to win the constructors this season. The challenge though is to beat Red Bull. If we can beat Red Bull in this season, that'll be a pretty decent job. But that's it for today's Belgian Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content and also F1 2017 content when the game is out. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, and I will see you next time at the Italian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.